guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm not here with Geeky Sparkles. She's sitting videos out today. She's out and about doing some Christmas shopping, so I hope you've been good. You haven't been naughty. Hope I've been good. Haven't been naughty. I won't get anything. Anyway, we're going to talk about Netflix being naughty, or Netflix just being beyond parody at this point. They're getting a lot of backlash for this upcoming, I guess it's a biopic, which is shocking. But yeah, there's a biopic featuring Pedro Pascal's trans sister as a gal who just wants to be a coal miner, and it's called The Queen of Coal. And people are like, this is the most Netflix thing ever. We're going to talk about this and why people are concerned about Netflix buying Warner Brothers. So it is a multifaceted issue. People are concerned about Netflix buying Warner Brothers because they're afraid that all the DC characters are going to go ultra woke. I mean, it's a little late for that, right? Have you read the comics lately? Yeah, they're already there. But even more so than they have been. But not just that. Hollywood's scared because they're like, this is the end of our stranglehold on entertainment. If Netflix buys everything, right? They're gonna cut us out of it. So pretty much everybody hates the idea of Netflix buying Warner Brothers, except for shareholders, and obviously people at Netflix. But I mean, both sides of the aisle. I haven't seen anything unite people against a company this much in ages. I mean, everybody hated that. Everybody hated that for various reasons, right? And I think people in Hollywood have a right to be concerned because there's not going to be as much work for you. There really isn't. And we did a video yesterday talking about the animation industry, and oh my God, they're canceling stuff already to get ready for this merger. And now they're going to push this through. We don't know what's going to happen yet. And I'm going to talk more about Paramount in another video. Paramount has this hostile takeover, but Netflix definitely, Netflix and Warner Brothers definitely want to get together. It just depends on, whether or not they can, clear those regulatory hurdles. And it sounds like Trump might throw a wrench into it because he wants to get rid of CNN or something. This whole thing is just crazy. But I'm going to be honest, as much as Hollywood has been slamming the Ellisons and slamming the Saudis because they're anti-woke, Paramount might be your only chance. I'm just saying. I mean, you might get some stuff that's anti-woke, might be a little more flag waving than you'd like, American flag waving. I just got to clarify because you have to these days. But you used to just say flag waving and everybody knew. If you were an American, you talked about waving the flag, you knew it was the Stars and Stripes. Now there's so many flags. I don't know which flag you're waving, which country, what gender, who the hell knows. But yeah, I mean, you might have to tolerate that if you want Hollywood to stay intact. So, life's full of tough choices, isn't it? As Ursula said, isn't it? So we're going to talk about this. Before you get into it any further, please subscribe for more content. If you like this content, go out to more.clownfishtv.com. And that's more.clownfishtv.com for more Clownfish TV. We are getting ready to unleash a bunch of new podcasts over there. We're going to be moving off platform. We're still going to be on YouTube. Don't worry. But a lot of the extra stuff is going to be over there because I don't trust YouTube. I just did a video about how I don't trust YouTube. You shouldn't trust YouTube either. I'm just saying. And Hollywood shouldn't trust YouTube because YouTube is going to try to be the next Netflix. But maybe we'll talk about this first, and then we'll go out and talk about this Queen of Coal. I mean, this is just like, wow. I was shocked it was a biopic. I can't imagine anybody beyond, just being like, this is the most Netflix thing ever. That sounds like an SNL parody, right? Like there's just a trans woman. She just wants to be a coal miner. That was a real thing that happened. Who would want to be a coal miner? No offense to coal miners, but I live in Pennsylvania. I know what the working conditions are like. I've known coal miners. And they're coal miners, they're doing it because it pays well, but they don't want to be there, right? It sucks. It's dangerous. It pays well. I would say in the one part of Pennsylvania we used to live in, it was probably the highest paid job or one of the highest paid jobs you can get outside being like a doctor. It pays well, but it's dangerous. And every day you go down the mines, you don't know if you're coming back. You don't know if you're going to wind up with cancer, lung cancer, get the black lung, got the black lung, paw. You don't know what's going to happen. But if that's your dream is to be a coal miner, I guess more power to you. But let's talk about Hollywood first, how they're freaking out. And then we'll get to that. So this comes from nofilmschool.com. Unions on Netflix Warner Brothers. Okay. Hollywood unions share big concerns with Netflix about their Warner Brothers takeover. The unions released statements condemning the possible acquisition. The WGA said the world's largest streaming company swallowing one of its biggest competitors is what antitrust laws were designed to prevent. The outcome would eliminate jobs, yes. Push down wages, yeah. Worsen conditions for all entertainment workers, raise prices for consumers, yeah. And reduce the volume and diversity of content for all viewers. Well, isn't that a thing? Again, who do you root for in this situation, right? There is no ideal scenario for Hollywood or viewers. I'm going to be honest. Yeah. Industry workers, along with the public, are already impacted by only a few powerful companies maintaining tight control over what consumers can watch on television, on streaming, and in theaters. This merger must be blocked. Well, they're gonna bitch about Paramount getting it too, because they're gonna be like, well, Paramount is against diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they're only making movies with white people now, and they're capitulating to Trump. They will literally, at this point, Hollywood will bend the knee to Trump if Trump saves them from Netflix. You know what I'm saying? I mean, talk about stuck between a rock and a hard place. If you're in Hollywood and you're anti-Trump, but he's your only hope at keeping your job, what do? You just suck it up? I mean, you just suck it up and be like, you know what? Don't like Trump, don't like the Ellisons, don't like the Saudis. And my gay fanfic is not going to be made into a cartoon show, but this is the only shot I have at keeping my job. What do? Or you just say, hey, that's it. I'm just going to be a coal miner now. I'm just going to freaking quit. Now the DGAs, the Directors Guild, issued a statement. They said, we believe that a vibrant competitive industry, one that fosters creativity and encourages genuine competition for talent, is essential to safeguarding the careers and creative rights of directors and their teams. We will be meeting with Netflix to outline our concerns. SAG was a little more cautious. Well, SAG, because Netflix does hire a lot of actors to produce shows of varying and questionable quality. A deal that is in the interest of SAG-AFTRA members and all other workers in the entertainment industry must result in more creation and more production, not less. It must do so in an environment of respect for the talent involved. Well, remember how they dealt with the unions during the pandemic and during the strikes. They basically said, tough shit, we're going to import it from Korea. That's what we're doing. We're going to import it from Japan. That's what we're doing. If you guys are going to hold your breath, that's okay. We've shored up our resources. And I told you so. I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to tell you again, I told you so. That's what they're going to do. They're going to be like, you know what? You're not going to stop us. We're Netflix, damn it. We're going to do what we're going to do. That's just it. They said, yeah, this will be made in the best interest of SAG-AFTRA. Nope. As a standard and following a complete and thorough analysis of the details of the deal with particular focus on jobs and production commitments. What is going to happen is if Netflix buys Warner Brothers, they will absolutely cut down on the amount of shows that they produce, because you don't have two streaming platforms. You now have one streaming platform, and they just want the IP. They want to be able to make Batman shows. That's what they want. They want to make, more Game of Thrones on Netflix. That's what they want. So they'll make one Game of Thrones instead of 10 shitty Netflix shows of varying quality that we don't know if any of them are going to take off. Because, you can count on one hand the number of shows on Netflix that have had any cultural impact, right? Your Stranger Things, your Squid Games, you know what I'm saying? Most of the stuff has not had a massive impact on pop culture, but Warner Brothers IP has. So it's basically just going to be Netflix probably making the same amount of content that they always have. Just some of that content is going to be from the Warner Brothers library, just like Disney. Disney bought Fox. Are they making a whole bunch of Fox shows? Not really. They really aren't. They're putting them on FX or whatever, but they're cherry picking stuff, Aliens, Predator, that sort of thing. They're not making a ton of shows, and people lost jobs, and that's exactly what's going to happen. And so what everybody's upset about, they said the Directors Guild, Christopher Nolan's the president, I know that, already scheduled a meeting with Netflix. Everyone's afraid that more consolidation will lead to a loss of jobs, opportunities, and already hard to navigate landscape. Yeah, absolutely. Couple that with the death of theatrical, and you have a big problem for Hollywood that's struggling to move forward. It's not a done deal yet. Elizabeth Warren is concerned about it. She would be concerned about Paramount too. I mean, the only solution that would work for Hollywood at this point is to keep the status quo, and that is not possible because the money is not there. So what do you do? You know, basically, you fucked around. This is the finding out. You blew a bunch of money on shit that nobody's watching. So then I'm going to segue into this. I'm going to segue into this part. You blew a bunch of money on shows that people weren't watching, and Netflix can absorb the loss. Platforms like Paramount and HBO Max cannot absorb the loss. And I was joking with people. I said, hey, now we know why Snape's black on the Harry Potter reboot. Now we know why he's black. They want Netflix to buy them. I believe 100% they've been talking to Netflix for a year or two. I believe 100% they were talking to Netflix. I think they were. So this is Queen of Cold. We're going to load this trailer. It's like, God, this is like an SNL parody. This is Pedro Pascal's trans sister Lux. It's already getting backlash. And this is why people are concerned on the right. So people on the right are concerned about Netflix because they're like, oh my God, all the DC stuff is going to be ultra woke now. And then people on the left are concerned because they're like, oh my God, we're not going to have our jobs anymore. Yeah. So, but that would have happened to Paramount too. I don't think to the degree it's going to happen with Netflix. So Pedro Pascal's trans sister Lux takes on the role of real life trans woman Carlita Antonella Rodriguez. So this is what got me. I was like, oh, this is like beyond parody, but it's actually a real thing. Because I'm like, I don't think many trans women are going to want to work in the coal mines. And well, apparently Carlita did. Spain-Argentine co-production. The movie was previously released in theaters in these countries. So it is a theatrical release. Netflix will now bring the movie to a global audience from December 19th. Now, again, I'm going to stop right here. A lot of stuff that Netflix gets flack for, it's not actually a Netflix production. Sometimes it's a co-production or they just buy the streaming rights to it. Netflix they're looking at like massive amounts of content for everybody, but it is very true that 9 times out of 10, the people they hire to do this stuff, they do a lot of race swaps. They do a lot of really weird DEI stuff, whatever. And that's the people that they hire, I think, a lot of times. But then they also let Dave Chappelle on the platform too. So it's kind of a free for all at Netflix. But it is a running joke that Netflix is going to put a chick in it, make it lame and gay, or race swap characters, or we're going to have a whole bunch of black people in England in the 1700s. For a lot of them are royalty. We have no idea why. The movie, directed by Agustina McCree, follows Carlita, who dreams of working in the coal mines of Patagonia, where it's considered a man's job. The real life Carlita went on to become the first trans miner. I think MINER instead of MINOR in Patagonia. It's like, wow, that is opening up a whole can of worms. The movie shows how she beat the old beliefs and superstitions about women entering the mines being bad luck. Okay, let's take a look at the trailer here, and let's see. So this was a theatrical release. So this is coming from is it Dom Lucre or Dom Luker, breaker of narratives. Breaking: Netflix is getting backlash for going full woke in their new trailer for their transgender film Queen of Coal. So Franklin the Turtle cancels his Netflix membership. We shall see. Let's take a look at this.
Some of the guys say they've seen a shadow. Others say it's just a beam of light. The truth is, everyone believes it's the presence of the Black Widow.
Is that an AI voice? I don't know.
Woman who broke the superstition and went into the mine on a day that wasn't St. Barbara's Day.
It's always been my dream to work in the mine.
Rodriguez, Carlos, underground.
I mean, it must pay well, right? I'm guessing it pays well. That's the only reason I can think anybody would want to go work in the mines.
Do you feel safe in that work environment? I need a job, not friends.
I want to show the skin here.
Say you're a woman now.
Wait.
Number 30.
This sounds like, hold on. This sounds like AI. This sounds like an AI dub. Hold on. God, these dubs are so bad on Netflix. My wife watches a lot of the K dramas and the C dramas on Netflix. And I hear this really god awful voice acting. And I'm like, what are you watching? That sounds terrible. It sounds like you just had an accountant just read something off a piece of paper. And it turns out it's like, oh, this is like the new K drama on Netflix. I'm like, oh my God, it's making my ears bleed. I'm sure I make people's ears bleed too. But, whatever.
Thought about leaving this place?
I was born wanting to leave.
Good thing you didn't.
Have you ever thought about
Carla
leaving?
Barbara Rodriguez, ID number 37255313. If you say you're a woman now, then you'll have to do women's work.
Sorry. If you say you're a woman now, then you will have to do women's work. Sorry, this is like, they're not really giving this one the prestige treatment, are they? They're not going and getting like really good voice actors, like A-list actors, like they used to do with the Ghibli movies when Disney had it. They're like, let's go get some really good actors, some A-list actors to do the dubs. It's like, oh my God.
And this company assigns different jobs to women.
It's not fair what they're doing to you.
Sorry. Okay. This is a true story. I'm not gonna bust on this one too much. This is a true story. It looks like it looks like in its native language, this would have been taken very seriously. Okay, whatever. God, the voice acting, I can't get past it. This is like, it's just so awful. But yeah, so this is the concern. Everybody hates the idea of Netflix gobbling up Warner Brothers for various reasons. I got nothing. Anymore. I think comic book fans, we talked about this. I think you should be very concerned because I don't think Netflix really cares about physical media at all. I think they're going to probably outsource DC Comics eventually. You're not going to be getting Blu-rays of this stuff. Not that you would want a Blu-ray of this anyway, but I'm just saying you're not going to be getting physical media. I think it's going to be an absolute shit show. I mean, financially, it makes sense, right? It does, but I think it's definitely going to be a mixed bag. And it is kind of weird that the Duffer Brothers jumped ship from Netflix and they went over to Paramount. The Duffer Brothers who did Stranger Things, I mean, money talks, right? But like that was one of the biggest hits they've ever had on Netflix, and they jumped ship. They're like, yeah, we're not sticking around. We're going over to Paramount, So we'll see what happens. It just sounds like, shit show incoming. So I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.